A journey through space. Once upon a time, in a small town, there was a curious 12-year-old named Jashua. He loved everything about space and always dreamt of being an astronaut and exploring the universe. One summer evening, while stargazing in his attic, Jashua stumbled upon an old telescope. As he peered through it, something fell and hit him on the head. He suddenly fell to the floor and into a deep sleep. While in a dream state, he begins rubbing his head. Then he is whisked away on an incredible journey through space, guided by a wise astronaut named Tim. "Welcome, young explorer," Tim greeted him. "Who are you and where am I?" said Jashua. "This is a dream and I came to take you to explore the wonders of the solar system." Tim explained, "The solar system is our home in space, a vast neighborhood with the sun at its center, and everything orbits around it." Let's learn about it together. First, let's understand distance in space. We use the astronomical unit to measure distances. 1 AU is the distance from the center of the Earth to the center of the Sun, about 93 million miles or 150 million kilometers. This helps us compare distances between different objects in our solar system. Now the planets. Our solar system has 8 planets. That can be divided into 2 groups, the inner planets and the outer planets. The inner planets are Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. They are rocky and close to the Sun. Let's start with Mercury, the smallest planet, very hot during the day, freezing at night, and it has almost no atmosphere. It orbits the Sun in 88 Earth days, and takes about 59 Earth days to rotate on its axis. Then Venus, which is similar in size to Earth, but it is covered in thick clouds of toxic gas, making it the hottest planet. Venus orbits the Sun in 225 Earth days and rotates on its axis in 243 Earth days. Then of course Earth, our home, which has the perfect atmosphere for life and has 1 moon. Jashua interrupts, Earth revolves around the Sun in 365 days, that's 1 year, and rotates on its axis in 24 hours. I'm impressed. Very good, Tim replied with a smile. Finally, the last of the inner planets is Mars, known as the Red Planet. Mars is also known for its iron-rich soil and thin carbon dioxide atmosphere. Because of this, scientists have been curious about its potential for past life on the planet. Also, Mars orbits the Sun in 687 Earth days, rotates in 24.6 hours. Tim explained. Beyond Mars, we find the outer planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. These giants are much larger, mostly made of gas and ice, and have rings. Jupiter, the largest planet in our solar system, is famous for its Great Red Spot, which is a massive storm. It has dozens of moons, orbits the Sun in 12 Earth years, and rotates on its axis in only about 10 hours. Saturn is known for its stunning rings made of ice and rock. It also has many moons. Uranus, a blue-green planet that rotates on its side. It orbits the Sun in 84 Earth years, rotates on its axis in about 17 hours. Its atmosphere is made of hydrogen, helium, and methane. Then Neptune is the windiest planet, deep blue in color. It has a thick atmosphere with hydrogen, helium, and methane. Neptune orbits in 165 Earth years, rotates on its axis in about 16 hours. Our solar system is full of other interesting objects, Tim said. Let's start with the Moon, Earth's natural satellite. The Moon affects tides and has visible phases as seen from Earth. Phases are the different shapes that we see for the Moon. These shapes are caused by the Sun's reflection off the Moon and the Moon position as it orbits the Earth. Then asteroids are rocky objects, mostly found in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. Meteoroids are smaller rocks and debris in space. When they enter Earth's atmosphere and burn up, they're called meteors, or shooting stars. Last, comets are icy bodies that release gas and dust, creating glowing tails as they approach the Sun. Jashua asked, "Can you tell me about the Sun?" Tim said, "I sure can." Tim explained, the Sun is a giant ball of hot gas at the center of our solar system. Its core is where nuclear fusion happens, producing energy. Let's break down the Sun's structure into three main parts: the core, the radiative zone, and the convection zone. The core is the innermost part of the Sun, where temperatures reach about 15 million degrees Celsius or 27 million degrees Fahrenheit. "Wow," said Jashua. This is where nuclear fusion occurs, fusing hydrogen atoms, converting them into helium and releasing immense energy. The radiative zone surrounds the core. This layer extends about 70% of the way to the Sun's surface. Energy produced in the core travels through this zone by radiation. The convection zone is the outermost layer of the Sun's interior. In this zone, energy moves by convection, with hot plasma rising and cooler plasma sinking, creating convection currents. Jashua continues to listen with a look of amazement. Tim said, "Do you want to know more?" Jashua says with excitement, "Of course." Tim continued, "Well, the Sun's atmosphere has three layers. The photosphere, which is the visible surface of the Sun, where light is emitted. The next is the chromosphere. It is the layer above the photosphere, where temperatures rise and solar flares can occur. The third layer is the corona, and this is the outermost layer, extending millions of kilometers into space, visible during a solar eclipse as a halo of light." "The Sun is fascinating, isn't it?" Tim said. "Sunspots are cooler, dark areas on its surface. Solar flares and coronal mass ejections are powerful bursts of energy and particles. And let's not forget prominences, huge, bright loops of gas that extend from the Sun's surface, often associated with sunspots. Did you know that our solar system formed about 4.6 billion years ago from a giant cloud of gas and dust called a solar nebula?" Tim said. Jashua shakes his head side to side for no in amazement. Here's how it happened in more detail. A nearby supernova explosion likely triggered the collapse of the solar nebula. Gravity pulled the gas and dust together, forming a rotating disk. As pressure and temperature increased, nuclear fusion began, igniting the Sun. The remaining material in the disk began to clump together, forming planetesimals. These planetesimals collided and merged, forming protoplanets. The Sun's strong solar wind blew away lighter gases, leaving behind the rocky inner planets. The outer planets, with their stronger gravity, were able to hold on to lighter gases, becoming gas giants. Millions of years of collisions and gravitational interactions between objects in the solar system led to the stable orbits we see today. As the journey concluded, Jashua began to wake up and Tim began to leave. Before waking up, Jashua yelled, "Tim, don't leave, I have more questions." Tim waved goodbye as Jashua began to wake up. "Well, young explorer, I have to go," said Tim. "Remember," Tim said, "the universe is vast and full of wonders. So, promise me that you will keep exploring and never stop learning." With that, Tim was gone, leaving Jashua with a newfound appreciation for the wonders of space and a burning curiosity to learn even more. Jashua wakes up rubbing his head saying, I will keep exploring. I promise. So, Jashua continued his journey of discovery, inspired by his amazing adventure with Tim, the wise astronaut. So, to all the kids watching, keep learning, stay positive and keep looking up to the stars.